It's Saturday morning, and before this day opens up into everything it's going to ask of you, before the errands, the responsibilities, the noise, the people, the needs, I want you to pause right here for just a moment, because something quietly significant happened last night. You went to sleep, and you woke up. That sounds simple, but it isn't. There are families this morning sitting in grief because someone they loved didn't wake up. There are hospital rooms where someone would give anything to see another ordinary Saturday. And here you are, breathing, present, alive, with a whole day still ahead of you. That is not nothing. That is everything. And I think sometimes in middle of all the pressure we're carrying, in the middle of the things that haven't worked out yet, and the prayers that feel unanswered, and the weeks that have worn us down, we forget to notice that we are still here, still covered, still chosen, still held by a God who thought the world needed you in it again today. So this morning, before anything else, we're going to say thank you. Not because everything is perfect, but because He is faithful, even when it isn't. Let's begin. There's a verse in 1 Thessalonians that used to feel impossible to me. Paul writes, "Give thanks in all circumstances, for this is God's will for you." Not for all circumstances, not when you finally feel grateful. In all circumstances, in the hard ones, in the confusing ones, in the ones where you're still waiting for the answer and the silence feels loud. For a long time, I read that as a demand, a spiritual standard I had to somehow manufacture, but I don't think that's what it means anymore. I think it means that gratitude is not a feeling you wait for, it's a posture you choose. A decision to look at your life and find the fingerprints of God even in the places that still hurt. And when you do, when you actually stop and look, they're everywhere. Paul also writes in Philippians, "I have learned in whatever state I am to be content." Learned, past tense. It took practice. It took circumstances he didn't choose. It took being in prison, in shipwrecks, in seasons of nothing. And somewhere in all of that, he learned something about a peace and a gratitude that doesn't depend on your situation being resolved. That's what we're reaching for this morning. Not a performance of positivity, a real, rooted, honest thank you to a God who has never once let go. I want to speak honestly for a moment before we go into prayer. Because I know that for some of you, gratitude doesn't feel natural right now. And I don't want to gloss over that. I don't want this to be one of those moments where someone tells you to just be thankful and it feels like they're asking you to pretend. You may be walking into this Saturday already tired. Not just from the week, but from a season, a long one. The kind where you've been faithful and patient and trusting, and the circumstances haven't shifted the way you believed they would. And there's a quiet heaviness to that, a specific kind of exhaustion from hoping hard and waiting long. Maybe the financial situation is still unresolved. The bill is still there. The number still doesn't work, and you've prayed about it enough times that you almost feel embarrassed to bring it up again, as if God might be tired of hearing about it. He isn't. He never is. Maybe there's something in your family that's been weighing on you, a relationship that hasn't healed, a child who seems unreachable right now, a tension in your home that you go to sleep with and wake up with and don't quite know how to fix. You love the people in your life deeply, and sometimes love is painful precisely because it runs so deep. Maybe it's your body, something that's been off, something you're watching, something a doctor said that's been sitting in the back of your mind. You try not to let fear take over, but sometimes it does, quietly, in the middle of the night. You may not have told anyone how much you're carrying. You've kept it together on the outside because that's what you do, because people depend on you, because some things are too tender to say out loud. But God already knows, and He has not looked away. Here's what I want you to hold before we pray. Gratitude is not about denying the hard things. It's about finding, even inside the hard things, the evidence that God has not abandoned you. And when you look, really look, you will find it. The fact that you're still standing, that's evidence. The fact that what tried to break you hasn't broken you completely, that's evidence. The fact that there have been moments, small ones, quiet ones, of unexpected grace along the way, that's evidence. The fact that you're here, on a Saturday morning, choosing to begin your day with prayer instead of panic, that is evidence of a faith that has not died, no matter how tired it is. Take a breath right now. Just let your shoulders drop for a second. You have more to be grateful for than you can currently see. And today, we're going to let God remind you.
Father, I come to you this Saturday morning with something I don't bring enough, a deliberate, unhurried, honest thank you. Not because my life is without difficulty, not because every question has been answered or every burden lifted, but because when I stop and actually look at my life, really look, I can see you in it, and that is worth more than I can put into words. So I begin here. Thank you. Thank you for this morning, for the particular mercy of waking up on this specific day, in this specific life, with everything still ahead of me. I know that is a gift, and I don't want to take it for granted the way I sometimes do. Thank you for breath, for the body that carried me through this past week even when I pushed it, for eyes that can see, for a mind that can think, for a heart that still beats steady in my chest, morning after morning, faithful in its rhythm even when I am not faithful in my attention to it. Pause and receive that. Thank you for the people in my life, even the complicated ones, even the relationships that ask something difficult of me, because I have people, and that is not a small thing. I have people who have shown up for me, who have prayed for me, who have sat with me in the hard seasons even when they didn't have the right words. Thank you for the ones who love me imperfectly but genuinely. That kind of love is your love reaching me through human hands. Thank you for the moments of unexpected grace that I almost missed because I was too focused on what was wrong. The conversation that came at exactly the right time. The provision that arrived when I had stopped expecting it. The peace that settled over me in the middle of a night that should have been restless. Those weren't coincidences. That was you. And I see it. I see you. Thank you for the prayers you answered that I forgot to celebrate. For the things that used to be my crisis and are no longer. For the doors you closed that felt like rejection and turned out to be protection. For the detours that led to places I never would have chosen, but now cannot imagine my life without. Pause and receive that. Thank you for your faithfulness when mine was thin. For the seasons when I barely showed up. When my faith was more obligation than passion. When I prayed out of habit rather than hunger, and you were present anyway. You didn't require me to be consistent before you were. You held the covenant even when I loosened my grip on it. That is a grace I will never fully comprehend, but I receive it this morning. Now, Father, I bring you my whole life, not just the polished parts, not just the victories, the whole thing. I bring you the financial pressure that I've been carrying, the uncertainty about whether things will work out, and I choose this morning to lay that down at your feet, not because I've stopped caring, but because I've decided to trust the one who owns everything and lacks nothing. You know what I need. You know the timeline. You know the solution I cannot yet see. I release my grip on the outcome, and I open my hands. I declare that you are my provider, that lack does not have the final word over my life, that your resources are not limited by my circumstances. And whatever this week requires, financially, practically, logistically, I trust you to meet it in a way that is beyond what I could manufacture on my own. I bring you my family, every person I love who's carrying something heavy right now, every child who's finding their way, every marriage under strain, every parent facing something difficult. I lift them by name in my heart, and I place them in the hands that formed them. You love them more than I do. That is almost impossible for me to comprehend, but I believe it. Have your way in their lives. Bring healing where it's needed. Restore what has been fractured. Draw close to the ones who feel far from you right now. And give me grace to love them well today. Not perfectly. I know I won't manage that. But genuinely, patiently, with more presence and less distraction. I bring you my body, every place that needs your healing touch, every concern I've been carrying quietly, every fear that whispers at night about what might be wrong. I declare that you are Jehovah Rapha, the God who heals, and I place my physical health into your care this morning. Remove fear from my body. Settle the anxiety that lives in my chest. And whether healing comes swiftly or through a process, let me trust you completely through it. Pause and receive that. For my mind, Father, I ask for your peace, the real kind, the kind that doesn't make logical sense given what I'm facing, but comes anyway. The kind Paul described, a peace that stands guard over my thoughts, like a soldier at the gate, letting in what belongs and turning away what doesn't. I declare that anxious thoughts do not have authority over me today. Worry is not my companion. Fear is not my guide. I have a sound mind, clear, focused, and capable, because that is what you gave me, and I receive it fully this morning. Give me wisdom for every decision this day holds, for the big ones I've been circling and the small ones I haven't anticipated yet. I don't want to navigate this day on instinct alone. I want to walk in step with you. Show me the right path. Give me discernment about who to trust and what to prioritize. Let your spirit be the voice I hear most clearly above everything else. I declare divine favor over this Saturday, over the places I'll go and the people I'll encounter, over the conversations I'll have and the opportunities I may not even recognize yet. Let your favor go before me, not so that I am elevated above others, but so that I can be useful to them, so that my life can be evidence of your goodness to someone who needs to see it. I declare protection over this day, over my home, over every person I love, over every mile I travel and every space I occupy. I cover this day in prayer, and I trust the God who neither slumbers nor sleeps to watch over what I cannot watch myself. And above everything, I choose alignment with your will. Not my preferences, not the plan I've been building in my head, your will. Because I have seen enough of my own plans succeed and leave me empty, and enough of your plans surprise me with abundance that I no longer trust my wisdom above yours. Have your way in my life, in every area, even the areas I haven't surrendered yet, especially those. I want to be fully yours, not partially, not conveniently, fully. I am grateful to be in your hands.
You just did something important. You started a Saturday, before the plans, before the noise, before the to-do list, with gratitude and surrender. And that changes the atmosphere of an entire day. Not metaphorically, literally. When you choose to begin in His presence,
you carry that presence into everything that follows. Think about everything that didn't destroy you this week. Think about the grace you didn't earn, and the mercy you didn't deserve, and the moments that were quietly miraculous, even when they didn't feel dramatic. He was in all of it. He is in today. And no matter what this Saturday brings, expected or not, easy or hard, planned or completely sideways, you are not walking through it without him. That is not a hope. That is a promise, and he has never broken one. Go into this day with your eyes open, because a God who answers prayer, who shows up in the ordinary, who turns mourning into something unexpectedly beautiful, that God is active in your life right now. Watch for it. You'll see him.
If this prayer stirred something in you this morning, if gratitude settled somewhere in your chest that needed to be reminded, type Amen in the comments. Let it be your declaration over this Saturday. Then if there's something specific you want to give thanks for today, something God did that you haven't celebrated out loud yet, write it below. Let this community be the place where you say it. There is something powerful about spoken gratitude, and I would love to read yours. If there's a prayer need you're still carrying, leave that too. You are not praying alone here. If you want to start every morning like this, grounded in his presence before the day begins, subscribe and turn on notifications. A fresh prayer goes up every single day, and it is always for you. Happy Saturday. Now go live it well. God is with you.